So the closet we started with is just your basic bedroom closet. Nothing really fancy. It just had two hanging rods in it. And really that was about it. It had a nice depth to it, a decent width, but overall it wasn't huge or anything like that. So we wanted to make sure to really utilize the space. Considering the most infant clothing is short, we wanted to continue having two separate hanging heights so that we could take advantage of the vertical space. The first step was completely cleaning out the closet. It had been a storage space for baby gear that I had accumulated. Clearing out also means removing all the existing hanging rods and the braces on the wall. We did this simply by using the drill to remove the pieces of wood and carefully removing them to make sure to put as few holes in the wall as possible. Which brings us to step 2, which is spackling. This is the product that I used. I really liked it because it goes on a nice pink purple color, and when it dries and is ready to be sanded smooth, it's white. So you can see exactly where you're applying it, and I focused on where the hanging rod braces were. And I also took this time to inspect the bottom molding and make sure that it was firmly attached to the wall and spackled any gaps so that it looked really nice. The third step was planning out your space. I downloaded a really simple program off the internet called Room Arranger. It's a 30-day freeware. I just found it on a Google search. I took really good measurements of the interior dimensions of the closet, and then I also measured the hanging length of 6 to 12 month pajamas and onesies and pants, so that I kind of knew how much length I needed to allot myself in each of the zones. I then put all of those measurements into this program and figured out how to best utilize the space, leaving room for a hamper. And I also wanted to use the Expedit from Ikea because we have a couple of them in our house. We really think that they're great functional pieces for a pretty decent price. The next step is painting. We painted just a basic white eggshell paint. Make sure you also paint the ceiling if it needs to be. So we finished painting the closet white, and it's not that impressive until you zoom out and you compare it to what the color used to be. It used to be this ugly yellow. It looks so much better at white. So now we're just going to let that dry and then we'll start installing things. So the next step is installing. Going back to when you were planning the room, you need to have the measurements for where you're going to be putting the new hanging rods and the braces, making sure that you leave enough room between the rods and the shelves above so that you can put the hangers on the rod. We almost made this mistake, so I'm glad that we thought it through. Once we hung up the brackets in the correct location and we cut down the 2 closet rods that we already had into 4 smaller pieces, so there was no additional cost there, then we were pretty much ready to go. So as you can see, this is what it looks like without clothes, and when you compare it to the plan that I made on the computer, it matches pretty good. I decided to leave a little bit more room for the shirt hanging length. I figured eventually she didn't need to have a hamper in her closet and it could be a little more even. This is the after. So this is the first look at the completed closet. Isn't it so cute? Let me get closer and I'll show you some of the details. So I wanted the closet to have zones. I wanted to be able to hang up her tops and her bottoms and have a separate place for outfits and then pajamas. I also wanted lots of storage for her onesies and socks, and also some toy and blanket storage. So this is what we came up with. So here's a closer look at the labels that I put on some of these bins. I just used scrapbook paper and a scallop edge punch and some stickers. And then I attached them to the bins with double stick tape. And I think they look really cute. So obviously she doesn't have a ton of shoes right now, but she does have a lot of hats and socks and baby legs. And then over here, we've got all of her onesies. I haven't found a way to fold them that I like yet, but it's all her onesies, 0 to 3. And here's all the newborn onesies. A lot of these were from Christopher's sister Kylie, because she was a small baby and she stayed small for a while, so she wore newborn until she was almost 2 months, I think. Peter Rabbit was one of my childhood favorites, so when I found this big storybook, I had to buy it. And this little squirrel is actually my sorority mascot, and my mother-in-law bought it for me, so it's kind of special. In here, I have a basket full of white onesies, as well as the type of onesies that are really thin, and they've got like a serged edge instead of a nice finished edge. These are an older style of onesies, and I'm going to put them on her underneath her pajamas. So, considering, you know, 0 to 3 months will be in the middle of winter, she'll probably need the extra layers. And in the back here, it's hard to see, but it's a quilt that my mom made, oh goodness, 6 or 7 years ago. And one of my very good childhood friends has a matching blanket that my mom made at the time for her newborn daughter. So my mom made my best friend and I matching baby blankets, but I'm using mine 7 years later. So it's really special. And then down here we have 3 storage containers. These are going to be for toys and blankets and whatever else. I got my boppy pillow down the corner. It desperately needs a new cover, but I haven't found one I liked. And then I've got a laundry basket that's flexible, and it can be picked up with one hand. It's very lightweight, and I figured that would be great with a newborn, because my laundry room is downstairs. So I wanted to have a really lightweight, bendable, foldable laundry basket. So that's the quick tour of the closet. And this middle unit is from Ikea. It's the Expedit bookshelf, the 5x1. And I'm going to be doing a tutorial, posting it later, on the closet dividers. These aren't finished yet. This one down here is. So there's my closet, or Hannah's closet, but I'm very proud of it. And until she gets here, I'm going to just sit back and appreciate it. I hope you guys like it as much as I do. Bye.